YouTube founding community, Foo Fighters fans, random people on the internet. My name is Giggens, and we are here today to talk about the brand new Foo Fighters album, But Here We Are, released through RCA and Roswell Records on June 2nd, 2023. This is their first album without longtime drummer and best friend of theirs, Taylor Hawkins, who sadly passed away in March of 2022. And it's an album that, it's heavy. It's a really heavy album. It's weird to think about because like a lot of us, we've been fans of the Foo Fighters either since day one or at some point in their long career. I joined in when Nothing Left to Lose came out. And so I've been a fan for 25 years now or something, which is insane to think about. And in that time, you watch this band grow and you see new members join or come back, and you see all these interview clips and you see them palling around and being such good buddies with each other, and seeing them not have one of their own anymore. As a fan, you have empathy and sympathy. It's rough because that camaraderie isn't there anymore and that musical chemistry changes. So this album, when it got announced that new album was going to come out, everyone was kind of like, oh, wow, like they did it, And also in that time, Dave Grohl's mom passed away. And so 2022 was an awful year for these guys. Because of that, they had the incredible Taylor Hawkins tribute shows, one in the UK, one in America, and beyond that, pretty much silence from the guys, as expected. So when this album was announced and the lead single was announced as well, Rescued, it was kind of like, oh my God, well, number one, that's Dave on the drums. And number two, I can't believe they're making a new album. Like, we all hoped it would happen, that they would make music together still, but it's definitely strange to not have Taylor there. This album is one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. Lyrically, how do you put into words losing someone, let alone make a song out of those feelings? Someone you've been so close with, whether it's a parent, a friend, somebody you've been with for so long. How do you sum up those feelings of what do I do now? That's what this record is, and it's truly one of the most gorgeous things I've ever heard. It's one of the best Foo Fighters albums ever, hands down. So let's just get into it. The first song, Rescued, here, there's an immediacy to this song and almost a frenetic energy to it, where you have those feelings after you lose someone. You're just kind of like, well, what do I do? Like, that they're gone. Like, what do I do? Like, there's that era of confusion. You're looking for grounding. You're looking for that source to keep you from flying away. Dave's voice is full of pain on this song, especially in those chorus screams. But like, you feel like this is a song for all of them. Not just Dave, because they're all feeling, the whole band's feeling this, and it's like one of those, like, where do we go from here? The song itself, musically and lyrically, is looking for a resolve, but not finding it. It's getting close, but it's still got that searching feeling. Under You is the next song on here, and it's musically a very pop rock, almost upbeat music sound kind of song, but lyrically very heavy. Again, those feelings of the days or weeks or months after someone has passed away, and you're still trying to figure out, like, what day is it? What planet am I on? Like, what happened? What's going on? It's a song of coping and trying to accept what happened. And just when you think you can start to get over it, you're right back to where you started. There's a great line in the song that gets repeated several times. Over it, I'm getting over it. I'm not getting over it. It's like, you think you're getting close, but you're nowhere near it. And gorgeous song. Hearing Voices is track 3, and I'm still trying to figure this one out as well. There's a couple lines on here like "Speak to Me, My Love," and so I'm trying to figure out if this song is written from maybe a different point of view, or if it's about more of his mom than Taylor. I can't figure out exactly who this song is about, or just hoping to hear their voices again. It could be as surface level as that, because that's one of the best things you can ever hope to hear. Is someone who's gone, you want to hear their voice. It's comforting. There's a very cool fade out at the end of this song where it almost sounds like it's a demo of Dave and his guitar with a piano. Be a beautiful song, and then the title track, But Here We Are, follows that up. Whew, this song cooks through and through. By the time it ends, it is just a ballistic rock frenzy with some of the most insane drumming. I mean, Dave on the drums is just nuts, but like the layering on this thing is insane. The bass, all the guitars, the vocals, it's a densely packed track. The shredding in Dave's voice and the almost guttural screams that he gives out through a lot of this song. This is just one of those, like, you're at the end of your rope moments and you're like, how do I continue? What do we do? Like, you're gone, but we're still here. How are we here, you know? One of those things. It's a really, really heavy song. The Glass. This one, I feel like, is about both Taylor and his mom. There's definitely moments that are very much about Taylor, like, person I love, he's not here anymore. But then there's lines like version of home, which for me thinks of like, oh, if you have a really great family life, you think about what your version of home is. You grew up in that happy household. You grew up with your family who was really supporting and loving, and that's your version of love. So I kind of get that vibe from it. Very emotive, brief guitar solos on here. And it's about seeing your reflection. So there's a couple ways I was able to look at this. It's almost like looking through the glass, like at someone in a hospital bed through a hospital room or something, or literally seeing yourself in somebody because you become a part of their DNA. The longer you're with somebody, the longer you see yourself in someone, and it's just kind of a figure of speech where it's just like you understand who they are because they understand who you are, and it's just a back and forth. So it could be something like that. Nothing at All has some great guitar interplay, really sharp and crisp drums, and a chorus that builds up to a very early Foo Fighters sound. That whole Nothing at All chugging chant, it's incredible. It sounds like Shame Shame in the verses of their last album, and then it sounds like something off their first album, the choruses. It's a huge ballistic song. Show Me How is the next track on here, and it's probably one of my favorite songs on the record. It's just melodic, dense, heavy dream pop with Violet Grohl, Dave's daughter, on vocals with him, and her voice is incredible, and it fits the mood of the song perfectly. She just lilts over this thing in almost a whispery tone, and it's beautiful. She does a fantastic job on this record. I hope she has a music career of her own going forward because she's incredible. It's chill, it's spacey, and the song itself reminds me a little bit of something from The Color and the Shape or Aurora, which is one of Taylor's favorite songs. So there's a lot happening with this track, and I feel like it's got a lot of spirited, loving energy to it. Beyond is a piano-heavy ballad with great tension building and a big rock chorus, big splashy cymbals, ascending melody line, excellent solo, pounding drums. Definitely another heavy track, as I'm going to say that for a lot of these songs because that's just how this record is. Which leads into the last two songs, which are these are a lot to listen to. The Teacher, Dave's mom was a teacher, and this is a 10-minute epic that goes through several changes of almost different songs to blend it into one. It's a heartbreaker that takes its time. And it makes me think that some of this song is from his mom's perspective and some of it is from his. There's lines in the beginning of the song where it's about who's at the door. It's almost wondering if that's like who's at the door of the room, like if they're in a hospital bed or something. And then asking, hey kid, what's going to happen tomorrow? Like asking Dave, like what's going to happen tomorrow? Where am I going to wake up? Will I be in a different room? Will I be in a different, So I'm wondering if his mom went through some kind of illness for a long time before she passed away. We don't know the details. And that's obviously something very private to them, so it's going to stay with them. But it feels like she might be talking to Dave from a hospital bed. And his mom was a teacher. But, you get to the end of the song, you get to those lines of, living breath by breath, and Dave just screams goodbye. And it's heavy, man. The song his screaming sort of fades as if she was fading. And it becomes a real fuzzy white noise kind of song before it just cuts and goes into Rest, the last track on the record. And this is probably the hardest song to listen to. It's absolutely gut-wrenching. It's one of the saddest songs I've ever heard. And the acoustic guitar with Dave singing about his mom passing away, almost whispering it, um, it's crushing. It's absolutely crushing. And then it all comes crashing in with everybody with this big, fuzzy, heavy, sludgy, slow rock feel. And Dave singing louder and louder. And it builds up to an ending where it's just Dave and his guitar again, singing about meeting his mom again, walking in the Virginia sun where they had grown up. Absolutely heartbreaking. It's one of those songs you hear and all you can think about is someone you may have known where you've gone through feelings like that, where it's like you hope to meet that person again somewhere, you know, and do the things you used to do. The album is beautifully packaged. I have the CD because I haven't been able to find the record yet. White on white text, so it's extremely hard to read, but the title's down here. It says "But Where We Are," and it came with a hype sticker. This is Foo Fighters. And the back cover has the track listing over here and the details about the production on the bottom down there. Inner jacket is the same with the faint whisper color that's also on the front. And it does come with a lyric poster, I should call it, because it opens up to be slightly poster size. I'll show you that. So it's really hard to see, but the colors, that faded color is going right through the middle. And on the back are the lyrics, which again is white on white, so it's going to be very, very hard to see. But there are no production credits. There's no who plays what. That information has become available online. Obviously, it's all the guys playing together, but it is easily one of the most gorgeous albums I've ever heard. What can you say about putting life to music? I'm reminded of Black Star by Bowie, where you're recording those final moments and you're recording that immediate emotion of every step of the way of grief and loss. It's one of those things that as humans we will never understand. We can tell ourselves we understand it, but you will always miss that person. You'll always be reminded of that person or that family member or whoever's not here anymore. That feeling doesn't go away. It's not like you wake up one day and forget who they were. Like, that lives with you forever. But that's also what keeps them alive. And so this record, it's dedicated to Virginia and Taylor. And so this keeps their memory alive. And it's one of the most cohesive records they've ever made. It's one of the best albums they've ever made. And for a rock record in 2023, this is easily the best rock album you're going to hear for a while on a mainstream rock band. 10 out of 10. The music is heartfelt and punchy and emotive. The lyrics are heartbreakingly honest and vulnerable. And the overall tone of the record is looking for healing, looking for acceptance, not finding it, finding it, the confusing back and forth that happens when loss occurs. It is one of the most beautifully sad albums I've ever heard, but it's worth the listen because it truly is one of the best records the Foo Fighters have ever made. It's unfortunate the circumstances that caused the album to be created, but this is part of their coping process. So I hope people find something in it that resonates with caring about the Foo Fighters and their families, and also imagining, thinking about people they've lost over the years, and you'll hear a lot of things in the record that are like relatable. So let me know what you guys think about this record. Have you heard it? What do you think about it? For me, it's a 10 out of 10. It's an incredible document. Highly recommended. So there you go. My name is Giggens. This has been the Foo Fighters' new record, but here we are, out now. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves.